Kim began to grow more worried after hearing that part. This certainly didn't sound normal at all. First, Ron had a horrible nightmare of him and Kim burning to death in a field of thorns, accompanied by an evil figure laughing at their demise. Then Rufus had a similar nightmare that involved Kim and a bunch of other people dying. Then Master Sensei showed up to warn Ron about something horrifying vision that he had for the future. Kim was no expert in such things like this, but she figured that Ron's connection with the mystical monkey powers might have had something to do with it, having such horrifying visions. "This is serious, Ron. I highly doubt that all this would just be some coincidence," Kim finally said, sounding worried. "I am wondering if maybe those mystical monkey powers of yours are showing you visions to the future like Sensei." "That's most likely being the case," Ron replied, "but Rufus doesn't have any of those abilities, so I can't understand why he'd be having visions like that." "Neither can I," Kim said. "In any case, you should let me know if you have any more visions like this in the future. Same with Rufus. Also, you should try and contact Sensei and find out more about this vision he had." "I'll try," Ron replied, "but I'm not entirely sure how to do that. There are still many things about my mystical monkey powers that I'm still learning about. I may be able to control them far better than before, but there's still so much more about it I have yet to learn." "Yeah, that's understandable," Kim said. "These abilities of yours are definitely more powerful than I could have imagined. Like when you took out Warhawk and Ramonga really easily once you fully trapped into them." Ron was flattered when he recalled that memory, the memory of Warhawk planning to take him back to his homeworld to be used as a hunting trophy. Ron remembered that feeling almost helpless until Sensei appeared and helped him to get fully tapped into his mystical monkey powers, allowing him to finish off Warhawk and Ramonga for good. Ron also remembered Global Justice informing him and Ron about their bodies would later be found amongst the wreckage of the Warhawk's ship. Almost unrecognizable. That one detail really made Ron, uneasy. He hadn't intended to kill Warhawk and Ramonga, but on the other hand, Ron already knew that they wouldn't have surrendered. "Yeah, I've never forgotten that," Ron said, unsettled. "I never mean to kill Warhawk and Ramonga, but it's not like I had much of a choice. Those two were savages, and they would have killed you, and I do not done it." "You did what you had to," Ron, Kim assured him. "The idea of taking a life is unsettling, but sometimes when you're in a life or death situation, it's kill or be killed. Would you be able to willing to cross that line if it come to it, KP? Would you be able to will to kill if a situation was war warranted?" Ron asked fearfully. "If it meant defending myself or for those I care about, then yes," Kim nodded. "But I hope it never comes down to it. The idea of killing someone is frightening and unsettling. I hope I never have to do that again either, KP. I know that Warhawk and Warmonga were a huge threat to our world, but I still didn't like the idea of killing them. I've been so worried at times that the Lordorian might return for revenge one day. If they do, then we'll be prepared for it, and so will the rest of the world," Kim assured him. "The Lordorian technology, from the remains of the Lordorian war drones, gave the Earth a huge leap of technological advancement. We've already got several space marine warships orbiting Earth and ready to respond to any outside threat. Some space programs have even begun building a larger interstellar starships for deep space exploration too. And they can even fly faster than light." "Yeah, I never thought we have this faster than the light of travel in my lifetime," Ron said. "Neither have I," Kim replied. "Lordorian technology is really amazing." "Yeah, it is," Ron nodded. "Wade says he's planning to upgrade our mission gear with the Lordorian technology very soon. He also told me that the other night that he's making me a battle suit like yours with the Lordorian technology embedded on it. He's also upgrading yours Lordorian technology as well." "That's amazing," Kim beamed. "I wonder what Wade's going to be adding to them." "Same here," Ron replied, sounding a bit excited. "I've been eager for a battle suit for quite some time now." Kim and Ron both made a small talk as they headed down towards Lowerton, unaware of just how serious things really were. Rufus had been also listening to everything Kim and Ron had been discussing. since he and there would have been far more than the two of them knew. As it turns out, Rufus had a similar nightmare like the one Ron had, only it had been taking place in the remains of a burning city, where people were screaming in pain and agony as a figure clad in armor struck down, who had opposed them with a large sword. And in the nightmare, Rufus had taken cover under some wrecked car, and while he witnessed the whole thing going on, the city was in flames with his armor clad, seemed to have been the cause of it. Rufus also remembers seeing someone else wielding a sword and opposing the armor-clad villain, but he couldn't make it out of who they were, since the flames masked out most of the appearance. As they fought each other, the opposing swordsmen managed to hack off the mask of the armor-clad warrior, and that had been the part that terrified Rufus the most. The reason why it was because of that, because unlike other warrior whose face Rufus couldn't see, he was able to see the face of the armor-clad warrior very easily. And the face of that evil warrior was none other than the face of Ron Stoppable.